Rain is on the way for the North Island. Hello, kia ora. I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Monday update recorded on May the 20th. Low pressure out here in the Tasman Sea in the dark shading. Massive high pressure here just south of Australia in the bright white. So there's a southerly going into Australia's eastern side, but for us in New Zealand, most of the North Island is getting an easterly wind thanks to the low pressure zone. And so that's encouraging showers to build up along the eastern side of the North Island. And as the low moves in, then a band of rain comes in with it. But it is messy. As we said last week, there are pockets of heavy rain and then some large areas with not a lot going on. So let's try and make sense of it. Here is how we're looking tonight. The cloud and precipitation map showing where it will be cloudy and where it will be wet. So the bright white is cloud. So most of the country is cloudy tonight. We've got some showers down here around the lower South Island, and this is the area of rain up here in the green and yellow and gold. Those are the areas with the heaviest downpours. So let me animate the next 24 hours thanks to the weather company. And you can see that rain band moving down across the North Island, but those heavy areas are kind of broken up. It is not just one big clean heavy band of rain neatly moving down. It's sort of pockets of downpours, might be a thunderstorm here and there or just a big heavy downpour, and then those nearby might not get it. So generally speaking, the eastern side of the North Island and the top of the North Island are the areas most exposed to the heaviest of the rain. This is for the next 48 hours from this evening, from 6 o'clock Monday through to 6 p.m. Wednesday. Again, thanks to the weather company, and you can see the heaviest falls sort of lining up in this zone here, where you're potentially getting over 100 millimetres. And that's just for the next couple of days. Now, I've seen the rain part of Hawke's Bay moving around. Some of it yesterday was in the north. Now it's shifted down to the south. Again, that's with those lumpy areas of heavy rain. It may not cleanly go through exactly as the rain maps are showing, but this is currently the best thinking. And there'll be a little bit coming into the South Island as well. I'm sure you'll be happy about that if you need the rain there. This is the map for the next rest of this week. Goes through till Friday. The key is different with the colours, but again, this is where the heaviest rain will be in this orange shading here. That is 100 to 200 millimetres, potentially going over 200. Now, that doesn't mean everyone in that zone gets that, but that's the risk area that we're tracking right now as we go through the next few more days across the working week. And most of the South Island doesn't get a lot of rain in that update. Temperature-wise, when you wake up on Tuesday, look how warm it is for the top of New Zealand. Double-digit temperatures. We had frosts a week ago in some areas. Now it's mild with those airflows coming through. Colder the further south you go. The blues that you see here, 3 down to about -2. So don't forget to check our frost forecast on our website. Here's lunchtime Tuesday. Now, I have seen this model change a few times, including as early as last night when I looked, and it had 2 low pressure zones. Today it's back to 1. And if you remember a week ago, it had 3. So it's the computer modeling's trying to figure out where the main area of low pressure will start to spin. And it looks as though it'll be right in here. It's hard to read, but it says 999 hectopascals. Very funny shape though. That's a sign of it's sort of trying to pull one way and another bit the other way. And the lumpy areas of heavy rain here in the yellow gold shading and the green, it's broken up. So that's why it's a little bit tricky to say, hey, you right there in this area, you're most exposed. So we're generally saying what MetService is, which is sort of the eastern side of the North Island and the very top have the main risks, but really anywhere in between could see some very heavy rain over Tuesday. And by Wednesday, the low moves out to the east, 997, deepens a little bit, gets a bit of a nicer circular shape to it. The next area of high pressure already coming into the South Island. So that makes for a southeasterly flow that is usually wet and cloudy and cooler for the east, drier once you get to the west, although it can curve around, as you see here, with that sou'wester for Northland and northern parts of the Auckland region. Into Thursday, the low stretched out. We actually put up a tweet or an X. I don't know what you call them now. An X. Sounds strange. High pressure. Doesn't say the H, but that's a high pressure zone. 2 centres there, 2 centres above it. So twin lows, twin highs. There's nothing sensational about that. It's just kind of cool to see that happening. So this high pressure belt down here keeps the South Island away from that showery easterly, but the southeasterly carries on from the Chatham Islands to Wairarapa, Hawke's Bay, Gisborne, East Cape, and also curving around as that sou'wester for Northland. And yes, this could still move around a little bit because the shape of this system up here is messy and complicated. See here again on Friday, back to 1 again. So it is a low pressure zone all around here, but as far as like a depression itself that is spinning, we've gone back to 1 center here on Friday, and a bit of a cold front that's coming in around the next high for Southland and Otago. There'll be a few showers, maybe a light dusting of snow on the hills and ranges. And on Saturday, it's another cold one. If you're playing Saturday sports, it'll be another cold one for Southland and Otago. You're tough, you can cope with it. A few showers up here around Wairarapa, maybe Wellington, and a couple more in Northland, potentially Auckland. Other places, it is mostly or completely dry. And our final map for Sunday, now that's a cold one. That's a wintry change on the way if it stays like this. When the high is near Tasmania and there's a low southeast of Dunedin, that is the best recipe for dredging up a southerly. This one here looks pretty cold, but the coldest of the year out around the Chatham Islands. They might get, believe it or not, a dusting of snow on the hills there. But elsewhere, it is a cold and fairly dry southerly coming through for you on Sunday. One last thing, this mountain of high pressure, it's been 2 or 3 of them dominating for the month of May. Looks as though they're finally breaking up, because after this, we see a lot of low pressure. So that could be a bit of a change coming in for June. Might be finally shaking this El Nino weather pattern that's lingered long after El Nino was declared gone. That's all from me. We'll see you again later on. We've got our Australia video out today as well. Otherwise, see you again on Tuesday.